Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel, and in this one we have Diana once again buffed directly for the jungle, along with a random set of other champions. Right, when I said we had lost junglers, this isn't what I meant, but we'll take it. You know, after Hecarim and Udyr for 3,000 years and slapping some graves, we're bored. We're very bored. But we have Diana. She had her passive shifted, 150 to 300% damage to monsters, as well as her bonus attack speed shifted from 10 to 40% to 20 to 40%, which means when we use a spell, more attack speed, more healing, more damage to monsters, faster clears. Now, finding the games, you'll see on your screen now the runes, Conqueror, standard set, bit of tenacity, bit of healing. The games that you're seeing right now with these champions are really limit testing how fast they can clear and match the typical meta junglers in terms of get to crab 315, use prior to double crab, yada yada, kind of boring. The reason I like this one is because not only do we have the legendary Expedu on his Shen in the top lane, ironically not going Riftmaker this game, we have I Need Blood, who was the subject of the Talon Jungle video that we did January. So that's something as well. I mean, we got a lot of Challenger peak plays in this game from both sides. Therefore, the gameplay should be interesting, and it is actually interesting. Now, from the Diana perspective, you see, red buff, you know, we don't have the machete, auto-attacking a lot, starting Q. This really does affect you to a certain degree. Some people are studying the W for the added tankiness, which, again, we can recommend as well. The difference is with Q, because of the lower cooldown, you have more attack speed usage when you actually use it twice on the monster. So, play around with it, see what works best for you. W has been healthier from what I've seen. The thing is, though, you'll notice from the thumbnail, and no, I don't try to clickbait, this game will be a Riftmaker game. It's just not really a core mythic on her. Still the Night Harvester, the Rocket Belt, those really are what we want to go to. But the Nash's Tooth is proving hugely useful for our particular picks in the jungle. Not necessarily mid lane, we can go the Lich Bane for the mega damage. Nash just gives you a bit more flexibility. Now, assessing off the offset, assessing the start of the game, we have here, instead of going for a first full clear, looking, and you'll see a little bit of that Talon gameplay, looking for dives, looking for impact. Now, we know Lee Sin started bottom side. We see here a level 1 turbo zoned Kai'Sa and Yuumi. That means we know if Lee Sin started bottom side and he's sequencing up, we can head down for this dive. The only issue being, of course, if it's warded, hence the scanner, very nice. You know Lee Sin most likely will collapse and sort of counter gank. So that's something to keep an eye out for, but I do like that this game will feature a little bit more limit testing. Now, I Need Blood. There you go. There you go. Exactly. Got the kill on the Kai'Sa, pretty easy. Nice gap closer with the QE, or just E straight up if you want to kill quickly. Very much a case of that Talon jungling versatility and sort of hyperactivity coming in. Now, the reason I chose this game in particular is because I didn't want to see Diana full clear. I don't want to see Morgana full clear. I wanted to see a little bit what they can do with the clearing changes, okay, in terms of health and speed, that allows you to not only full clear if you wanted to, it allows you to make plays. Like Lee Sin also got buffed this patch. You know, that's a 2-second buff on his E. That's substantial. You know, that's not something to be scoffed at. Now, he counter ganked you bottom side. He saw the dive happening. He was just going to do this and loop anyway. The fact that Diana shows up here is basically sort of, you know, kind of expected, knowing that she started red side. The counter gank is standard. Now, what Diana can do, and this is where things really get spicy. We missed it actually watching the Lee Sin. You can have nice map mobility here, QE, that's really useful. We see Lee Sin bottom side. Now, this is going to begin a very intense 6 or 7 minutes. Because we know Lee Sin's bottom side and taking the bottom crab, instead of going straight for your blue, straight for your scuttle, which happens way too much by the way, go to steal his red, steal his raptors, drag it into the bush. You have your shield from your W now to tank some damage. You've got your attack speed buff. We've got a bit of damage versatility now in the jungle and the attack speed going up. You can also counter gank over walls, you know, if you wanted to. Lee Sin faked himself out. Nice escape. Okay, thing is now, on the face of it, right, you've got a low mid laner. The wave is up there. You know you've got Lee Sin and Yuumi. You kind of want this. You kind of want to do this. You could look to do that. But you're in a tough situation. The thing is, Diana over other junglers. Nice mobility there. Pretty easy dodge, though. We have tankiness, right? Tankiness. We have shields. We have something to stop us. Now, Lee Sin goes a little too deep, despite the Yuumi. Gets chunked. This opens a window. So, historically, when a jungler struggles to clear fast and healthy, these windows are not available to you. And I suppose that's the whole point of this introductory phase. Lee Sin is low and has to go up, right? He's got a tier 2 Wolf Camp, tier 2 Grom Camp available. However, it allowed the Diana to steal red, to steal Raptors, to fake him out over on the mid lane, and now can go for a juicy gank on the top lane. We would like to get our friend here nice and fed, because we know how good he is on Shen. We know his macro ability. Usually either reposition behind, fresh kill. Okay? All very good. Thresh uses the mid, they just both die. So, mid lane is mid lane. Now, you would think, off the face of it, let's go back to base. No. Take your Gromp, alright? Take your blue. Where is Lee Sin going to be? There's only one place he can be. Bottom side. He's got no... And there's the pings. There are the pings. You took this. He saw you go here. He saw you do this into this. Track it by numbers. They know you're going down to this. Lee Sin must be in this area, right? He must have reset and gone to that area. No question. He did get 3 kills, which means Serrated Dirk is on the cards. However, because Diana died from that dive earlier, still a good idea to go for it, I think. If Lee Sin was doing a shorter clear, maybe going this one, you had any vision control, it's a bit safer, but it is what it is. We have the Dark Seal. Now, I do like on AP junglers where you feel you're going to stay out a long time, and maybe you can snowball. Hey, let's get the Dark Seal because it's free atomization. As you get kills, as you get assists, you get free damage, and it can prolong your adventures. Now, level 6 from the minion soak mid lane, very important. You see that? Sit on the bush, minion soak. We see Lee Sin on the ward, we know he's in the area. We scan to check if there's any vision, and now you can hover in case something transpires. Hit the plant, where's Lee Sin? Have a look. Or, and this is something nice, can do this with Morgana as well. They're busy. He shoved back. We have her, the dragon. And that's something most important with these junglers. It's not necessarily can we farm fast and healthy. Can we still manage to make somewhat decent ganks, which I guess in general, yeah. Do we have build versatility to adapt? Yes. But can we solo objectives? Can we fight enemy junglers? Can we go faster than meta junglers or prototypical junglers? The answer here is very much yes, resoundingly yes. And of course, we can bait. Because you got gap close, you got a nice knock. He's gonna go for this, really. I mean, you know Diana's here, right? There you go. Ult used, spells used, auto attacks activated, and Shen ult abused. I don't know. This looks really good, and this is the thing with the highest play rate. Now, Morgana has the best win rate, but I think largely in due to the fact that she clears so quickly. Most people play Morgana now in a full clear without a leash will not be as smooth as they will be after a bit of practice time. So you're looking at a similar pacing to Diana, but Diana's just much more of a fighter. You know, like you can get into people's faces here like this. You have a gap closer. You know, you can force things like this. It's really useful. Whereas Morgana, you walk into the lane, you throw a Q, you miss it, you say, oh well, guess I'm farming again, and off you go. Kind of like a Fiddlesticks Karthus, you know, style of jungle. It's a little different. Whereas Diana brings you that AP bruiser, AP fighter, or assassin, AP assassin, which is what I think makes her so appealing and so interesting, because people are just dead set on playing Zed, Yone, and Yasuo all the time. Now, you will notice, we haven't gone back to base. This transitive gank from mid lane to bottom lane, I like it because it depressurizes, allows your bot lane to reset, alright? We know Lee Sin's a little bit lost in this world. He has no purpose now. The problem with backing in these situations, but I do think we should back soon, is you don't want to fall behind tempo too much, you know? And the thing is, the longer you stay out, say the Lee Sin dies, which he did, he's going to go back to base, he's going to float down here, you choose to stay out to gank, now all of a sudden Lee Sin's going up. If you reset immediately, you can probably meet him if he's going to go top side. However, if by staying on the red side now, if you want to meet him, counter gank him, fight him on the Herald, what have you, depending on the game state, you're not going to be able to do that while going back to base. You're staying out too long. The gold gets accrued, you don't have any itemization levels over the person you're supposedly destroying, and that creates a few issues. However, in the event that you have something like this, and in the event you're a Diana who just, you see the clear speed and the sustain, it's obscene, and you have double buffs, don't be afraid to do the Canyon extended sequence. Good example of that is in the previous video. So I just wanted to highlight that before we carry on, because it's very important how long the Diana stays out. You know, another ult rotation, a little close there. It's all about the champion's versatility as well as your decision making. However, greed is always punished. See, now you can say, let's go back to base. right? We know Lee Sin's in this area. However, Diana chooses to do the Raptors. This is quadrant clearing. We finished our quadrant, okay? We can reset, and now we can go topside. Herald, spend our gold, Herald. Blue camps are up. By the time we've finished doing all that stuff, these will be up again. However, due to the Lee Sin's... Actually, you know what? I think that's just the right play. I think here the idea of floating down bot for potential gank is fine, but this has to be anticipated. And that's more my thinking. Because you stayed out here and went down again, they know exactly what you're doing. You're giving him a free objective. That's my point. I mean, by doing this, you know, okay, I'm going to finish my quadrant. He's going to do this. That's fine. But I would like to now go spend my immense amount of gold, which is 3,200, so that we can try and do something, you know? So I think this is a little bit wasty in terms of time. Your bot lane is okay. They're not perfect, but they're okay. Right, they get a free Herald because of our, you know, staying out a little too long and telegraphing where we're going to go. Not a huge fan of that. Into the wolf side. Watching mid lane. Shen ults bottom lane. Observe. Good. That's the nice thing about Shen. Especially Expedu Shen. It's got good map awareness and good macro. And that's the biggest thing about climbing with Shen in particular, and why he's so good at it, is because these plays save laners, get everyone ahead, and because you're so good in a 1v1 sense as well, once you master your laning phase, you're just a nightmare for the enemy top lane to deal with. However, from a jungle perspective, the Diana, look at this. 80 to 62. We're racking it up. The speed is going. We got the Nash's Tooth completed. Now, the Nash's Tooth... Jebaited. And ult sucked. You got sucked back. Q misses. He has Herald. Thresh is roamed. Gets a hook. That champion's still... Thresh is still strong, by the way. The nerfs are not changing what Thresh is. And I think people are realizing that. And now we can just smack the plate with the Nash's Tooth and double buffs. So you see, the strength of the pick really is so good. Not only do you farm fast, you fight well, you snowball hard, you counter jungle like a beast, you can solo objectives. What's not to like? I think we got a total package in Diana right now. I really do. Morgana still will be more niche, but Diana's just showing us versatility in terms of mythics, build paths, how you can play it, and so on. Even if you're behind, you can farm fast enough and clear quadrants, sneak objectives by yourself, and so on. Now there's Dragon up. Dragon control is the most important thing. Just as a note though, while I'm thinking about it. Oh no, Shen baby. Just as I'm thinking about it. 3 levels up on the Lee Sin. Lee Sin buffs, by the way. I keep getting distracted. If the Lee Sin goes for this is dumb. If the Sylas and the bot lane rotate, it's not dumb. There you go. A little bit of a classic insect. Very nice. Diana's path thing should have just been straight down to the Thresh for the Lantern, but limit testing. Also, you win 1v1, right? It's not. I mean, the Sylas is what changes it. Double buffs to the Sylas, though. Keep getting distracted. So much to say. The Nash's Tooth Rush, statistically, isn't performing the best. The best atomization is still going. Your Night Harvester first, your Rocket Belt. If you need a bit more healing against these kind of compositions, Riftmaker can work for sure. But Nash's Tooth second, Lichbane second, depending on your style of Diana gameplay. Those are still the best ways to build the champion. Out of base, we took the dragon. We've got 2. We've got basically everything up on the map. We've seen Lee Sin bottom side. So in theory, because our camps are up on the bottom side and we see Lee Sin, I don't mind shadowing that, but at the same time, hold your mid lane. And this is the point of picking Diana. This is the point of making these picks. When you get a lead and play it properly, you can lane just as well. If you need to hold lanes, you can do it. I do like the idea of shadowing and doing something bot lane because Shen has his ult up. And we know Lee Sin was last seen in the area, so if they go for the dive, Expedu ults come through. Ashe survives, Diana's gonna flank. I think we should just be careful here because Sion's MIA. There we go. And, oh, it could be Sylas. Now, there's Sylas. So, yeah, this is what we're trying to avoid. That's limit testing. Don't do it, though. Just be there for your team. Now you can push together. Can you imagine if you just helped kill the Kai'Sa and you're here currently? I think you win this fight straight up very, very easily. I mean, Lee Sin's not even active, but Yuumi, Sylas, Sion. I don't think we want to be giving shutdowns. We're going to call this the Great Equalizer. You know, if you want to make yourself feel better, don't call it a throw. It's an equalizer. But yeah, that's more of a jungle decision, not a Diana decision. But if you're really fed Diana, I can see it. I can see why you'd feel like you could do that. However, the pick does not change. We know they're in this area, though. Be kind of cautious. Should be scanning. There we go. Never want to walk over wards. Sorry, bushes. This probably was warded now. Yeah, I don't. You should just hit this to stop it, to clear it. They know you. They know what you're doing. You got a 4-dish to go kill the Kai'Sa. You can also sequence up. You got a second Herald coming. I think that's better than flirting with bottom lane, because we have Flash, Ignite, Shen all the way available. Could easily have translated that. Cassio's roaming too. They know you're coming. Lee Sin's top side, Sion's top side. There you go. We can. Well, I'll play it back again. I kind of sped through the beginning. If you have mid assistance, this is fine. But like you can't stop, right? Because you know it's warded. You need to go. You need to just walk. As soon as you hesitate, you give them time to retreat. Standard ganking practice, of course. We can flash with our EQ or QE, depending if you have time to hit it. And then, of course, you've got your ult for that drawback. And W just protect. Now Lee Sin's top side. Shannon kills and gets out. Very nice. And Diana kills the Yuumi. Why is Yuumi here by herself? That ain't it. I mean, the E cooldown's nuts. 22 seconds if you don't hit your Q. So, you know, understand your damage limitations and output, because if you go in with the E first, you don't get that reset. You know, you need to hit the Q first. So, either way, good gank bottom lane because mid lane showed up with you. Got another TP coming in. This one will have to be the Silas, because Sion just TP just now. Oh, hello, Kai'Sa. It would be a shame if you died. Conqueror. There we go. It would be... Oh. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna be playing this. Herald is being taken by the mid laner. Thank you so much. I love it when they do that. Reset. We have in the pocket 2k juices. Dragon up, which means we don't even head to top side. We head straight down bottom lane. Shen ult again not up for 48 seconds. I can't ping it in a replay. And he doesn't have TP, so we have to play around that accordingly. But we definitely want this dragon. I mean, the Herald's kind of... Like, the Herald forces them to kind of think twice about collapsing, but it's not really going to do anything, right? Did she have to use it at that point? I wasn't fully tracking the timer, but... I understand people want to use the Herald as a distraction. If it's gonna die, great, obviously. But if it's not gonna die and you don't really need the distraction because you can burn it, don't waste it. Don't waste it. Full sequence. Top crab is available. We know people are pathing top side. Nothing else for them to do. Hit the plant for vision control, please. Thank you. Now you can look to bait. You're still up 2 levels. 880. We haven't finished. We got this for the anti-heal because of the Silas. Because of the... Yuumi, primarily those two, of course. Now we can push top lane. We want to break even the map. I mean, we want to just take this tower before they take this tower, but I don't think there's any threat. Right, reset. Now to close this, you've done all the good work. You 833, few ints, strategic inting, maybe. You just want to farm, all right? You want to farm until your team is primed and juiced to go take an objective. The next dragon is still not even halfway done. You could look to become a split pusher. That's something worth noting. All right, you've got your team rotating the rivers and have total control. You've got 2 mid lane. You could go for a really early Baron. I think that's something definitely you can look to do. Mid lane is with TP, or you can just do this with Shen. Forcing the TP from the Sion. But now the whole team is going to rotate from mid, no? There's Lee Sin coming. I mean, if Cassio, Ashe, and Thresh go straight Baron right now, they could take it. No, Ashe, go Baron. I can see on the timer, but... She needs the red buff, ladies and gentlemen. That's the problem with this play. I would have... Expedo, though. Man, I wish I could play any champion like he plays Shen. Zyra... close E. Or Zyra or Volley, maybe. Close, but not quite. So Ashe didn't want to do the Baron. I mean, they could have. Inherently, it has risk, though, because everyone dies. They have Smite, you don't have Smite. But if you can rinse it, you can rinse it. That's kind of a throw, though. It's kind of a throw. So, no one does anything except farm for a few minutes. There we go. So no one does anything except farm for a few minutes, which is fine. Safety. We want to now make sure that we get the Dragon, because it's a soul. So Silas goes full in, Diana goes backline, gets kicked to disengage, which is actually fine, because you separate the whole team, and they are forced to disengage. So that's actually not so bad. Diana backline is really disgusting as well, which is something to think about. You know, your role in team fighting, AP, fighter, assassin, whatever itemization you're going, auto attack based, Lichbane one-shot based. So now here, you want your team to be on the same page. Because you can do this, right? And lantern out, that's great. In your lower elo games, maybe the Thresh doesn't lantern you out, and then you cry. So here, this is exactly what we don't want. Like, I literally, if I'm to focus on it on my screen, I have to turn my head. That's a separator there. Because they'll just get 5v2 collapse, which is exactly what you should do from red team's perspective. If they split up, just all of you focus on one zone. Diana doesn't have ult. So these three have to disengage, which means you most likely give away the Baron. So you kind of all want to do the dragon and drag it together and either burn it or turn and fight it. Here you can go for a steal. Too early. I mean, it's kind of difficult, but I think here for a solo steal, it's not so bad. If just Diana goes for a solo steal and you get it, brilliant. If you don't get it, I think it's fine. Brah. Alright. So, they use the Baron, El Baron, to take towers. And blue team are remarkably disciplined. Remarkably disciplined. They're not fighting. They're just letting him shove, letting him take towers until the Baron expires. How long we got? Doesn't tell me. Sag. Yeah, this is fine. They'll have to reset. We've got a nice push on the top side as well. Shen's shoving the mid lane. They have to deal with it to some degree. Main thing is blue team doesn't fight and die, because if they do that, then Shen's work is for nothing. These Ashe arrows, man. Ashe players, please, you don't have to supreme skill show us long-range bombs every game. It's very easy just to point blank it at some point, you know, that's fine. You're allowed to do that, you know, it's actually better when the ult is just in the face of someone and guarantees hits. Right, because we have the Sol, because we got that, basically you're getting a really early Elder, 28 minutes, which is perfect. I think jungling, that... It's okay, Expoder. We will just ignore it, we'll glance over this. The thing is, right, these early dragons from these new style junglers that they're bringing, new style junglers, or any jungler for that matter, TB flank, is so crucial because it sets up these plays where if things get a little bit out of hand, alright, you can still get Elder Dragons. Okay, let's watch this probably. At an early enough stage where your lead is still tangible. And even though they're down on gold, I mean, they're down on gold now. The dragons are huge, and the fact that they have the Diana so really fed. So they're separated here, which means Diana just goes, alright, I just kill backline with Ashe, no problem. Lee Sin tries to peel, but it doesn't matter because they're dead. Now you got Silas, Yuumi, and Sion on the bottom side. Ashe is with the Diana, who's kind of semi-peeling and killing. We have Shen up in 19 seconds, but it doesn't matter because Diana's so fed. There we go. There we go. Wow. This is fun. This is fun. Not gonna lie. And this is brilliant. Just complete face smash because she's got such a big lead, right? She's got such a strong itemization spike here, and we got 3 items plus a stopwatch. The Zhonya's third is typically what you would go. The Morellas, if you don't need it, don't go it, you know? And now they have the Elder Dragon. And then they can translate that into Baron and win. Brilliant. Couple mistakes from prior thing, kind of don't agree with some, you know, philosophies. Kind of don't agree on some of the philosophies of the rotations, you know, staying out a little too long, giving away the Herald for free. You know, collapsing bottom side when that whole team can rotate before your team can, and then you miss a Baron opportunity. Things like this, but those are minor. The guy got 700 LP, he knows what he's doing. And the Talon playstyle really kind of suits the Diana a little bit, you know, looking to fight, looking to skirmish. But the difference between Talon and Diana is that Diana can turbo Giga Farm. And of course you have varieties, actually so does Talon, varieties of bull parts available. This should be a simple Baron to finish. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Try to cover a lot of the Diana things specifically rather than just jungle things. With these champion versions, that's what I try to do. Coaching is in the description below. On the main channel, we shall have our best junglers tier list tomorrow, plus a video summarizing all of these new junglers at the weekend or early next week. Tomorrow for this channel, I will get you a Morgana gameplay. A little different, more farmy, more scaly, but this one, thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next video.